Hello folks, I hope that you're having just a great and safe day today and are keeping yourself safe in our modern COVID world. Today I'm taking a look at the next short story in the Phillip K. series. This is my fourth short story for you on these Thursdays that I'm dedicating to Phillip K. in this collection of his short stories that I picked up of all of his major short stories from the 50s, the 60s, and so forth that have a lot of his major things. And this is the final one of the first four that I'm recording for you. What I did was when I picked up this short story collection, and I'll link you to this below so you can follow along if you wish. I picked up, we're going to be looking at The Adjustment Team, which is Influenced Adjustment Bureau, the film that starred Damon and Blunt in 2011. Highly rated movie, made a lot of money too. I think it tripled its budget in its the money it made in the theaters alone, plus DVD sales, Blu-ray sales, all that sort of thing that would come along to it. So it was a hit. And critically well received and so forth. And I certainly enjoy it as a film too. Although the film does go into some different places, it does have some scenes in common and some beats in common. But so we'll take a look at the Adjustment Team. This is the fourth of the videos that I've reviewed for you that start with short stories that have influenced and inspired movies that are by Phillip K. Minority Report was the first one I did for the film Minority Report. We Can Remember It For You Wholesale was my second chapter in this, which was for Total Recall. And then last week I did Imposter, which is for Imposter, which is obviously funny. And that's been my favorite short story I've read so far by Phillip K. Of the 6 that I've read in this collection. Imposter is my favorite. Adjustment Team is going to be the one we're taking a look at now for you also. Let's go ahead and get started with my a review of it. And before I get started with my review, I'd like to do a synopsis of it for the first few parts of it and so forth. It's about a 20-page short story in my collection. It took me about a half hour to read it the first time. I think it's actually about 35 minutes to read it the first time I knocked it out. And then I actually read it today. So the day I'm recording this for y'all. So what basically happens in The Adjustment Team is that we're going to be opening up with a conversation between a married couple. And this married couple, Mary and this gentleman, it's in the morning. They are talking about their day and planning their day and so forth. And then we're going to take a pause and we're going to visit this guy called basically the client. And he is with this person who is this dog who is right outside the married couple's house. And they have talked about the fact that there is an adjustment that's happening today. And in order to make sure that everybody who's in the area that needs to be adjusted, there has to be what is called an 8:15 adjustment, because our main character, our main male character, if you will, tends to be late for work, and the adjustment starts at 9 a.m. in the morning. And since he'll normally be late for work beyond 9 a.m., they'll need to make an adjustment so that he can get to work early. And so they have planned that an 8:15 summoning will summon a friend an hour early with a car who's going to honk, and his car ride will be an hour early. So thus he'll be in the office well before the 9 o'clock adjustment period starts. However, the person who is supposed to summon this waits a minute. Instead of it being the 8:15 summoning, it's the 8:16 summoning, which results in our main character being delayed as an insurance salesman, being delayed by an hour rather than being sped up by an hour. And then we're going to follow this main character as he goes through the adjustment period. He shows up late, and we're going to find out what the the adjustment team, what they do, who they are, and all those sorts of things as a result of this story. And it's got a clever ending to it too. Now again, the movie does go into some different places than this does. The Adjustment Bureau is more adjusty in the movie than it is in this. The idea in the senator who ran for Senate and whose love for this woman is pushing him up against the Adjustment Bureau, and their desire for this high-rising politician is a tense moment that doesn't come close to existing in this short story. And so forth. This one's more about the adjustments and who they do and why they do it and what's their point and what's their destiny and what they're trying to do with it, and the good they're trying to bring about as a result, and how they're going to help or hinder our main character, who's now learned of these things. It's a very different way of telling this story, but the same core ideas are there. And there's one scene in particular that both of them have, and it was an incredibly good scene in the short story, and I think also an incredibly good scene in the movie too, that I think that mirror each other very nicely. So there you go. Again, this is well written. It's well crafted. The world building is done here is very excellent. So it's a fun short story, and I recommend it. Have you read Imposter? What'd you think of it? Have you read any other short stories by Philip K. Dick? What'd you think about them? Did you agree or disagree with anything in my review of Imposter? Adjustment Team. I'd be happy to kind of talk with you about that more and unpack it for you in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please feel encouraged to hit the subscribe button. There's going to be so many more of these to follow. And finally, I just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day and investing into my video. We all have so many things happening in our lives, right? So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling. And I really do appreciate that. So thanks again and have a great day.